Charles Darwin's idea of the unchanging laws of nature is the basis for the evolutionary theory, and since 1859 it has been referred to as natural selection. There are other ideas on the origins of man, and according to Newman, the law of natural selection predicts that behavior adapts to the environment in which it occurs. Any animal's inability to adapt to an environment which is constantly changing is faced with the possibility of extinction. Many more species all over the world have either become extinct or potentially will become extinct without gaining any public notice. For those of us who have learned to adapt, whether the adaptation is healthy or unhealthy is still a bit fuzzy at times. The likelihood for our survival increases as we are able to meet the demands of a changing environment. Individual organisms' reproductive success is vital in its survival, and oftentimes a species will reproduce more than what the given environment can sustain. It is here where things, such as physical fitness, can improve the species. However, adapting to one's current environment isn't enough. Being able to adapt and experience other environments is important. It enhances our ability to perform adaptively in any given environment. And as suggested, for our psychological well-being and expansion of our mental capacity, it is important to visit the past so we may see any similarities or modernized versions of ideas or of what we used to do. Whether it's listening to jazz in Los Angeles' Hollywood Bowl, or standing in front of Gaudi's Casa Batilo in Barcelona, Spain, or his beautiful Gothic church, La Sagrada Familia, which could be an example of how new ideas can change the way we see an archaic belief. The simple experience of eating food in other places is still a hunting and gathering for physical satiation. British psychologist John Bowlby stressed the importance of human relationships in his attachment theory. He describes the dynamics of long-term relationships between humans and how important it is for an infant to develop a relationship with at least one primary caregiver for mental, social, and emotional development to occur naturally and normally. There are 4 attachment theories, and the first is secure attachment. This is when infants explore their environment freely and can interact with others very easily. Second is anxious avoidant, and this is when the child shows less distress being alone at home. Third is anxious resistant. Here the child is very cautious in the presence of a stranger. The fourth is disorganized attachment. This is when a child behaves in an unpredictable and contradictory manner. Which one of these supersedes the other 3? I don't know. But for me, I have a mixture of secure and anxious avoidant attachments. I don't have a problem in doing things alone, or sometimes in a group with friends. I may sometimes take the unconventional approach and adapt with my resources accordingly. But I also understand the importance of protecting our natural resources, to be able to enjoy them longer and to the fullest of its and our human natural potential.
Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead.
Although Mr. King was referring to a political change, it is also an environmental change. We are or have exceeded our natural resources as Darwin's law of natural selection predicted we would. We are trying to become resourceful in an attempt to keep our species alive. How much more can we